I love the Madonna moment.
So oh, thanks. Yes. I didn't know what to like dress as. I'm like losing my identity. I'm like, what do I do today? So this was the look I was going for. I'm not Italian either. Everyone keeps asking me like, are you Italian? Like everywhere I went today.
Madonna reference.
Right. That's exactly it. You get it.
Yeah.
And no one else, literally nobody on TikTok got it.
And I've never seen Esther so happy.
I saw her post today and I instantly blasted Papa Don't Preach on my way here. I'm like, I'm getting in the mood.
I love it. I love that you know. That's why we're soulmates. Like I really do feel connected to you. When I text you, I was like connected. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Also,
I saw
so cute.
Girls wearing this. Every girl wears like Alex Earl wears these. I'm like, okay.
Those are so cute.
We're so blessed that you have been dressing as a McDonald's employee lately.
That's been the best.
Everything you're doing is perfect.
That's how I know I'm living at the
Christmas
right
special.
Oh wow.
Special.
Oh my gosh.
No, you haven't.
No one's seen it.
You having like well, go watch it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content for you. But your husband's so much like my boyfriend where it's like you just have like a person there that's just like there to make you happy and do all of your things. Yeah. And it's everything. It's
the best. I've never had someone like that ever in my life. And he just goes along with everything. And he's just so great. And he's like happy to do it too. It's not like you have to like drag him to do it. He like loves to do it. Perfect. Yeah, it's really fun. I love that you watched it. That's super cool. So just us with one camera. We did buy microphones for that though. We did get like microphones and yeah. Trisha,
how is life since becoming the mother to the most beautiful little Malibu Barbie I've ever seen?
Oh my God, thank you. First of all, it's so amazing. It's so fun. I mean, it is like a lot of work, but it's like literally so much fun. Like I literally like can't get any work done. Like I just have like so much fun with her. She's like a doll, and I know like whatever, you're not like supposed to say that, but she's like a little doll that you dress up because we were like babies aren't dolls that you just dress up, and like literally that's what I do with my baby all day. Just like dress her up, and she's so cute. I love it. It's like been the best thing ever. I usually bring her with me. Like I brought her to like the Zach Sang show. Like I usually bring her with me everywhere, but I was like, let me just like not bring the baby everywhere because it's like
Esther, are we not going to be those types of moms where we're like bringing like Natasha Leggero, our friend, brought her baby pretty much on stage with her.
Oh, I love
like she had the baby. Yeah, she had the baby in like one of those like things that goes in the car and you can take it out.
I don't know if that's me. I think I've decided if I have a baby that I probably won't ever really meet it. Like
just push it out.
You'd quit motherhood right away.
Wait, what would you do? You just push it out and then like
drop it at my doorstep.
Yeah, I love that. I'm eyeing a few people.
Oh my gosh.
Khalyla's our nanny.
But
I have embryos, so I'm just going to give her my embryos to birth.
I would love one of your embryos.
I feel like with those shoulders, I think you'd be able
to. Can I tell you about my shoulders? You might change your mind. I have two. You've been saying all of these years that you love my broad shoulders. It turns out both of my shoulders, according to an orthopedic surgeon today, are shit shoulders. They're both gone.
That's what the doctor said?
What?
Grade 4 chondrosis. I was like, you're telling me I have shit shoulders? Chondrosis. He was like, bone on bone, shit shoulders is what he said.
Oh my God.
Bone on bone. I just got horny.
And so I need
bone on
Esther,
bone.
You're going to be so jealous, but he says, this is usually like an old person thing. And also you need like
soulmates.
Total shoulder replacement.
Really?
You hear that? Shoulder replacement.
Is there you can't do like...
You can have mine.
You can't Joe Dispenza your shoulders back?
But they did he did say there's another procedure called oats where they can get cartilage from a dead person and put it in my... shoulder.
That's what you love her or not. Kill yourself. You have to give your shoulders to her.
First of all, I would give my shoulders alive and well. And
your shoulders would do nothing for a grown person.
I really want something to go wrong with me where I need to take something from a dead person. Like that. I want to have like.
Well, no, the idea truly excited me because I'm like, what if
extra shoulder? I can give you some.
I would love it.
Wait, what part do they put in? They put in a skin or a bone into your shoulder?
In between the socket where the cartilage is basically gone. So they take cartilage from a deadie and then they put it in there.
Barbara Walters is fresh.
Oh my God.
Did she die?
Oh,
is she? I didn't know. Shit.
You're kind of excited.
No, I'm so
happy.
But people, right? Like that's the problem with death. Like I know when I die, people will be happy, and like that's the problem. It's like of course they will be. It's like people were like excited. Like Barbara Walters was like, this, and this, and she like criticized Brooke Shields, and people get like so nasty about people when they die, and I'm like, I have so many things for me to be nasty about, but I didn't know she died. That's so sad. What did she die of? Just old.
I think she was 93.
Yeah, it was time. But
R.I.P. to a legend. We would love to mine some of her cartilage.
Oh my God, put it in your shoulder.
Have you on.
Imagine. But here's about Barbara Walters, I watched this clip of her doing an old interview with Dolly Parton, and it was the first time where I genuinely hated her.
She can be a bitch.
Yeah, her interviews were crazy.
Yeah.
But doesn't that kind of make a good interview when someone pushes a little?
That's what all interviews are. And that's when you're like, being a reporter is like such a weird, fucked up job.
Well, this is why Madonna hates journalists.
Right.
Famously, I remember I was a journalism student and I basically dropped out of school because she said that.
Wait,
Like,
you were a
journalists are awful.
journalism student? Because what, you thought you were going to be like, welcome to Fox?
I don't know
FM.
what I thought, but
That's so
I quit.
funny.
That's so funny.
I could see you being like the weather girl. They put you on an Apple box.
You know what's so funny? I don't know if you guys have seen these clips, but in COVID, you know how like the news anchors are doing their news from home, or they were.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a guy doing the weather and his dog like kept getting into the frame and like rooting the green screen. It was so cute.
He had like a green screen in his house doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's everything. I would love to be a weather girl, but I feel like you have to go to college for it or no? Like you can just do it.
I doubt it.
Do you have to go to
I don't
college
know.
for anything anymore?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I go to YouTube U.
And I'm a doctor.
And I'm a doctor. Esther, give me your shoulders. I'm putting them in her.
Oh my God.
Thank you to our sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/trash and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/trash. ZocDoc.com/trash. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way that you want to. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/Trash Tuesday today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Trash Tuesday. Are you looking to kickstart a keto diet in the new year? We're making it easier than ever before to keep keto with our brand new limited time Keto Kickoff 2023. Now you can find keto recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus meal bundles at the Green Market. Keep keto the easy and delicious way. Go to greenchef.com/Trash Tuesday 60 and use code Trash Tuesday 60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/Trash Tuesday 60 and use code Trash Tuesday 60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Hi, guys. You can see me January 27th and January 28th at Madison, at Comedy on State at Madison, in Madison, Dania Beach, Florida, February 3rd and 4th, Washington, D.C., February 24th and 25th, Seattle, Washington, March 10th and 11th, Tampa, Florida, March 17th and 18th. And there's a lot more dates. Go to annieletterman.com/shows. You can also see my solo podcast, Annie Would, every Thursday. I do a live chat with everyone when it premieres. It's so fun. I love it. Come over there if you want a little extra Annie. Peace.
Hi, stand-up friends. You can see me. I'm coming to Florida April 21st. I will be in Miami. Get tickets at EstherOnIce.com and check out my new solo podcast, My Pleasure, wherever you listen to audio. It's very strange.
Oh my God, look at all your props. What's all happening over there? There's
This is what we used to be called Bloodbath. And then so as a present, Pete, our beautiful Pete, Predator Pete, don't let him around your daughter. He's
not a predator.
He's into babies. It's so mean. I'm so sorry. It's not true.
He's the least predatory person out of anybody.
But he got the nickname.
But that's why we call him. Yeah.
Wait, why? Why though?
Well, during our live show, we were being sexual and Pete was there. So I guess he got blamed for it.
They could have said like pervy Pete. Why did they say predator Pete?
Pete,
That's so aggressive.
It's so good. It just,
I guess.
like just waiting for Chris Hansen to bust in with some cookies.
That's a show I miss. I miss Chris Hansen.
He's got a new one out on
True TV?
True Blue. There's some new app.
True Blue, the name of the album that Papa
Madonna.
is on.
It was on 1986.
Okay,
I didn't know you were such a fangirl of Madonna.
I taught an extracurricular class in college called Madonna 101. I made all
Where to dolls? Who did you line your teddy bears up in?
The participants were not willing. You are correct. I had to force my friends to make it an official club to get like the right number of people to let the college, so that the college would let us rent a room out.
I can't believe you dropped out when you had all this ambition.
Blonde Ambition.
Blonde Ambition. Blonde Ambition
tour.
Most
iconic tours. You seem like you're probably a pretty serious Madonna girly, right?
It's so funny. Like I wasn't. And then I feel like I found out Britney was a big Madonna fan when I was like a teenager. So I was like, I have to become a Madonna fan. So everything I know is kind of like through Britney. I'm not like the biggest, like I don't know too much, but I do love the Papa Don't Preach like video in general. And the reason I found that song is because of Kelly Osbourne. I like loved her cover. Kelly's so good. So good.
I have Kelly hair.
Yeah, I live for Kelly Osbourne. She was everything. And then at the VMAs when she like ran down the stairs and sang Papa Don't Preach. And I had no idea it was Madonna. So then I like watched the video and I saw the video of Madonna was like super sexual about like having a baby and stuff. Like I was like, oh, that's everything. Like, and then I like fell in love. So I'm not like a huge, like I do love Madonna, but like, do you know she said she saw one of my videos, I Love You, Jesus, and she said I had an angelic voice.
Madonna?
Yeah, I reacted to it on my thing. I was like super excited. But it was under the guise of TikTok Live. There was this like comedian on TikTok Live named Terry Jo, and she was showing her the I Love You, Jesus video saying it was her. And she goes, oh, your voice is really beautiful. But technically it was my voice. So I was like, Madonna said my voice.
I love Terry.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you love, you know.
I all day long. It's so just good. Terry Jo all day long.
Yeah, the lives are great. I join in like lives any type I can. She's like so comedically funny. Like I cannot keep up with it. Like she's so good. She's such a good troll.
You guys know Terry Jo?
No, I'm excited.
So good. How do you describe?
So she does these lives and she plays this character of Terry Jo, and she's basically how do we describe? She's supposed to be a Christian girl.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
A pious girl, but she gets on the lives with Bob the drag queen, Doja Cat, and hilarious.
And Madonna. She like does lots of lives with Madonna. It's crazy. Like Madonna like promised her a car and she sent her like a little BMW like portable. Like it's crazy. Like it's like Madonna has like long chats with this person. And like she's like a troll. Like it's a troll, obviously. Like she's Christian, but then also talks about being like horny and like being molested and all this stuff like that. So it's like she's like a troll. It's like kind of it's like interesting. Yeah.
Speaking of,
I'm the top molested Quaker out there.
Number one.
I have to be a top molested something.
You're the top molested Filipino swimmer. Yeah.
So specific.
Top molested Filipino mermaid.
Mermaid.
Oh, I love that.
Positive spin.
When I'm on the road, people will be like, where are Esther and Khalyla? I'm like, Esther's probably shooting a movie and Khalyla is in the fucking ocean. Khalyla is under the sea. Right? I'm like, she's not above water, I'll tell you that.
Having the gills.
Wait, so you actually, I have to say, because we know we were earlier joking about like how motherhood is scary, whatever, I don't want to do it, but you have been giving me like vibes that you could really become a mom, love it, and still be yourself. Like, do you feel that way?
Yeah, totally. I really did think I would change, like, you know, personality wise and stuff like that. But I feel like if anything, like having a kid makes you like want to be a kid even more. Like I have so much fun. Like every time I dress up and like go upstairs, she like has the biggest smiles on her face. I go, oh my God, she thinks it's like so cool. And she's like 4 months. And I'm like, how does she even know?
You are baby-like. You're like a baby-like adult. So it's like perfect. You get to do dress up with your baby.
So perfect. It really is. I'm like, oh my God, everything matching, like all the Halloween costumes. We did like 6 Halloween costumes this year. Like everything is great. I love it. It's like, it's literally so much fun. And it's weird. Like I always want to be a mom, but I like thought I would like I said, be so different. I think it's harder to take care of a dog than a child. So if you have a dog, I think like it's so easy to take care of a child. I had a dog for 1 week and I was like, I gave it to my mom. I could not do it. It was so hard because they kind of poop everywhere. Like babies are contained poop and stuff. So it's not like that bad.
Maybe diapers for dogs.
Oh yeah, they have those.
They have those.
Normalized.
Right.
You're saying I'm going to be an exceptional mom. I have 4 shithead dogs.
Oh my God, that's right.
And one of them is like a violent dick biter.
Oh my God, yeah.
You don't think you'd be a good mom?
Huh?
You don't think you'd be a good mom? You're a mommy.
Yeah, you're a mom by
with shit shoulders. How am I going to carry my babies?
You got to train the dogs to carry them.
Wait, do you want kids? Do you want kids? Yeah. Or no?
Yeah, I actually do.
Wow.
But it's been a kind of a testy subject because I never felt like in my last relationship that I could be, I don't know, that we could be successful parents together.
Yeah.
But I always had faith in my own ability, but only in the last like 3 years. Before that, I was like, ooh, I am unhealed.
No, that's exactly how I felt too. I was like, I will a kid will die. Right. I will be the leave it in the car girl.
It's scary. But if you have the right, it really is about the right partner. Because like, I feel like I wanted to get pregnant so many times with so many like people that I like, you know, and it never happened. But I'm so glad it happened with my husband because he is like such like he really does do like helps out so much. Like he does like a lot of the work. And some people always are like, Moses takes care of that baby. I'm like, well, a dad like should take care of his baby. Yeah, you know what I mean?
My boyfriend Tad will take care if he could birth the kids, he'd birth the kids. I'm like, you do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I hate that people like shame like guys who are going to take care of the kids or like be like a primary caregiver and stuff like that. It's like so crazy to me. I'm like, he's so good. But any other like person I would have had a kid with would have been like a disaster. I would have like lost my mind, you know? But if I need like a break to go get like coffee for like an hour, like he's so good to just like watch her and like don't even like question like, oh, you need to come home and take it. Like he's so good like that. Even like this, he's just like, oh, have fun. It's okay.
Okay, Trish, I have a question for you because this is something I've been thinking about a while, just like in my own life. And because we're the same age and have very similar interests, I want to know if you relate. Like, I feel like...
So weird, you're the same age. You both give baby like... You also give elderly baby.
Right.
Like Benjamin Button when he's the...
She's like fun, happy baby.
Right.
She's like just like learning like looking at lights and stuff.
Chicken nuggets.
No, but you have baby vibes in like the best way.
Thank
I see you on
you.
shows and you're always like a little kid and that's like everything.
Thank you. I feel like I'm realizing that I am a millennial in age, but like a Gen Z in spirit. I feel like I'm connecting with the Gen Z generation so much more. I feel so much more similar to them. Do you also feel this way?
1,000%. I just did a collab yesterday with like these TikTokers. They're like 21 or something like that. They're on the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And like literally they were so like young and like everything. And I was like, oh yeah, me too. I just felt like I was like part of them. Like I knew everything that they were talking about and relating to. I was getting the Stanley Cups. I was getting the mini Uggs. I was like, yeah, I like feel like I'm one of you. It's so weird because like my generation of YouTubers are so like just over social media. Oh, social media is awful and so hard. And like this new generation is just like all about it, embracing it. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with it. It's like, why are you can't be against the movement of life.
Yeah.
Surrender. Go with it. Paths of least resistance.
Yes.
It's fun.
Paula Abdul's really good at keeping up with the new generation. She's all over TikTok. Yeah, she's like,
best.
they've literally heard people like contacting me like, do you want to do like a mukbang with Paula Abdul? And I see her everywhere now. And I was like, that's everything. She's really like killing the game.
I met her at the Comedy Store. She follows me on Instagram now.
Really?
It's my whole
let's get her
life.
on here.
Yeah. Oh,
To have her on.
1,000% would. She's just everywhere.
My twin brother and I were like obsessed with her. We had a cousin who ended up being gay, but we didn't know when we were kids. But he was obsessed with Madonna and Paula Abdul. So once we would hang out with him, it was like that's all we were obsessed with too. We just copied him.
I have a question for you, Esther. Since you never inherited any family heirlooms, is there anything in your life right now that you plan on passing on to your child that you're keeping safe? Because I know that was a really big pain point for you.
The Prada shoes.
Ooh, iconic.
Good question. Well, I think all of my stuff they have to preserve. I would love to. My ideal scenario in life would be to like be able to keep my childhood home and like have that. I feel like the only reason I want to have a kid is so that someone can inherit that house from me.
Because you don't want to actually live in it. You want to be in the basement.
Yes.
You're a basement dweller. You're not sleeping in a room.
Yes. Mommy wants to live in your basement, baby. But what are your thoughts like on me saying that I only want one? Do you feel like, oh, that'll make sense? Or do you think my mind will change?
No, I think that makes so much. I'm on TikTok right now where it's one and done. I don't know if it's like telling me something. You know, everyone's on like TikTok page saying like that's the way to go. I totally get it because it is like a lot of work. Like so many people I know, like just people who have like regular jobs have like nannies and stuff like that because it's so much work. And I used to be like so against nannies. I'd be like, oh my God, people have nannies. We don't have one right now, but I see why people have it because it's so much work and it's so exhausting and so tiring. And like my baby hasn't slept through the night yet, so it's just like so tiring. So like I get it. And also it's like you can spoil that baby. The only reason I think I want like I want more is like because I liked having siblings, you know, like I just liked having.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, like you kind of have someone, and I always think like, you know, when my parents pass away, like my older brother will take care of it. I don't have to take care of it, as opposed to you're the only person left.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's like you have so much attachment to your parents then.
Yeah, right.
Remember when we were having our mamic conversation in Montreal? One of our friends is an only child.
Yeah,
and she was saying she has so much. Her parents are older too, so her parents were in their 70s, and she's our age, and she was like, I feel so much pressure to like. I got to like create my own family now because my family will be gone.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that too. But I know I've
really liked cousins and stuff too. I think
if you're close with them, yeah. Do you have like siblings around here that like have kids and stuff?
No, I have no one.
Are you an only child?
I'm a half. I have a half older sister, but so I think because like. For me, I've just realized like it's part of my culture to just have one because like my dad was an only child, which was very rare for that time, and like I was kind of a half only child. So I think I've locked into this for myself. I mean, who knows? By the way, I could end up never having kids. I could have 5 kids. Like who fucking knows?
It's also like not being attached.
Well,
to an
it's like puppies.
Freedom.
It's like puppies. It's like 1 or 5. You cannot have like anywhere in between. That's like true. It's the same. 5 and 1 is the same.
I don't know.
They all.
Asian in you That feels
I swear to, because they all end up just entertaining each other, and you're like, all right.
Right.
But you're a 2. Yeah.
I'm a 2, and that
is very
what you were saying about nannies earlier.
You're a 2.
And I accepted it. I was like, yeah, I'm a 2. Jeez.
Nobody thinks you're a 2.
So I grew up in a country where it is everyone. It doesn't matter like where you are on the ladder. Everyone has a nanny. You grow up with a nanny. But what happened with me was I grew up, my parents were very rich. And so I had about like 6 nannies growing up. And then what happened was my parents lost all their money. And then I think from starting the age of 8 or 9, the nannies went from 6 to 4 to just one lady. And that's when my mom started beating my ass. So it's like as soon as she lost the help around the house, all of her frustration started to like bubble over, and then the kids paid for it. So the rule is if you have nannies, keep the nannies until they're older, or else the parents will start beating.
Wait, because like you think she was like overwhelmed, or
she was like overwhelmed?
Oh.
Clip it for TikTok.
Right.
That's why it's like keep them until they're 18, and then you can release the nannies. And don't do it in between, because the mom will be like, "What the fuck? I got to deal with your ass," and just start beating you.
But maybe how old were you? How old were you when the nannies stopped?
Right around 8. So it went from 6 nannies to like 1, and then it was occasional. It was
nannies for 2 kids.
Yeah, because in the Philippines, you have a lady that washes your clothes, and you have someone who drives the car. You know, you have they call it a maid's quarter where the nannies lived. We had like a little back house.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you're like 5 nannies in one as a person. I keep thinking about you and Jules bucketing out the water. I went home to tell them, like, they were just bucketing out the water. I was just like imagining you and Jules just like back at home, like back in your homeland, just bucketing water out of your house.
True.
You and
no one else was helping you, just the 2 of you?
Just the 2 of us. So sad.
When she leaves work, that's
Her
what
shoulders
she
are
does. Do you know what is so annoying is when you go to a doctor's appointment and you feel like it's all about the doctor. Like you waited for them, they rush you. It's all about like they're the center of the tension and they're not really listening. That is why I love ZocDoc, because you can actually find real patient reviews and find a doctor who's doesn't suck like that.
I went to the doctor this morning. I went to go see an orthopedic surgeon. I went to go see an orthopedic surgeon. His name was Dr. Vaishnav. And I'm telling you, no greater like bedside manner, everything. He took out the shoulder model. Everything about him was 10 out of 10. Yeah. And that's because you can look him up on ZocDoc. He's incredible. People will tell you he's incredible. Yeah. And I think it's just like when you have to worry about your health, now you have to worry about whether or not someone is going to be your ally in this journey. Is like it adds just so much more unnecessary stress.
Well, it's so like when I had my sinus infection, I had to have Esther diagnose me. Dr. Esther had to diagnose me because
Dr. Esther,
the doctor I got, which I should have gone on ZocDoc, was the worst doctor I've ever had. He was so mad at me. He was mad at me. I would tell him my symptoms and be like, no. And I'm like, I'm telling you what is happening.
But can I just say that's literally normal. Sorry, I swore. But I'm just
believe it. We're keeping it and it's real.
That's why on ZocDoc you will find quality doctors who actually take the time to listen. They focus on you and your care. It's 2023. I will never go see a doctor ever again if I have not reviewed them on ZocDoc.
Well, our doctor that we have in common is an angel. And when I first went in for my physical, he was like, we should also do a pap smear. He's like, but let's get to know each other first. That's the type of bedside manner ZocDoc will tell you about, okay?
And ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
No more doctor roulette or scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet.
Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right.
Go to ZocDoc.com/trash and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/trash.
ZocDoc.com/trash. And with ZocDoc, there are no alarms and no surprises. Okay? Surprise twists might work when Annie gives a gift to Khalyla, not when you go see a doctor. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when I'm when I'm operating at my best, it's completely different. Like I can actually achieve things. I can focus. I can like be present. And that is something that I would not be able to have without a therapist in my life.
And it's good to have friends and family that can help, support you when you're having issues or trouble coping. But it's another feeling to have an unbiased opinion, sort of just guide you.
A person who's trained, who knows like how to pick out different patterns and help you through it. Because we all have different like varying levels of anxiety in the world. Everyone has a little bit of something. And it manifests in different ways. Like you can't sleep at night, you're spinning, all of these stuff. If you can just find someone that can help you figure out what's at the core of that, then it's like you're getting your sleep, you have your tools, you're able to just like go through life. And
honestly, when you're at your best, you really can do great things.
Yeah. And when I think back to being in my 20s and like all the things that got in my way of finding a therapist, like just literally not knowing where to start, but simply with a Google search and like getting myself into weird situations, therapists that weren't right for me, far drives, like that's why BetterHelp
parking.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's just, you can't have more barriers to something like that.
No, that's why if you are thinking of therapy, BetterHelp is a great option because it makes it simple. It's all online.
If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/Trash Tuesday today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Trash Tuesday. But I do think that every mother should be afforded 2 nannies when they first have a child, and the government should pay for it.
Oh, that'd be great. We don't even get our tampons though.
Yeah, I know. It's never gonna happen. But wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. Or they also should give you paid time off. Like it's crazy. Like the people that like have to, you take it like 3 months off and you don't get like paid the whole time. Like you only get paid like half of it or something. Like that's like crazy. They should give you like the first year off because like your baby will like literally die if you're like not around it. And the fact that you have to like go back to work after 3 months is like insane to me. Like leaving my daughter for like an hour, I like feel like she has like attachment, like all stuff like that. It's so weird. I think they should get paid time off for like a year. I think any other country does that. They like give like moms like this like huge paid time off here. It's like really weird and really bad, and like they don't pay them enough. It's like crazy because it's so hard. It's so hard. And the nanny thing is interesting. Like having 2 nannies, they should like part of the government or something.
Now, speaking of newborns, you have a newborn on your finger here. Can I see it?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's so pretty.
That is so
I've been looking
beautiful.
at rings with my boyfriend and he's like, what size, who are you competing with? What size are you? And I'm like, I'm competing with fucking like Gwen Stefani.
Oh my gosh.
Because I want like the biggest,
Yeah.
But we ended up my mom found an old heirloom that she didn't know about from my great aunt. That's from the 1800s. It's like this emerald with all these diamonds. So we're getting it like redesigned.
Oh my! Wait, so you're gonna get proposed to?
Oh yeah, but
so
so my boyfriend and Whitney are gonna like plan a like some sort of flash mob or something to surprise.
Oh
her.
my god!
A flash mob?
That's everything.
Some sort of something crazy to surprise.
Is it for
we
content?
could not be more opposite. That's like I literally have a no flash mob policy.
You also showed up at his hotel room with like a gun. We're like, it wasn't like.
Wait, did you?
The surprise was whether he was going to live or not.
I went to his bachelor party. We were already engaged, but
But it was.
it didn't go. It
Let's
didn't
just
go
say
well.
the wedding didn't show up first.
What did you push him to do at the bachelor party?
No, I thought it would be like a fun surprise.
The girl who hates surprises loves to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What was the surprise?
Me knocking on the door of his hotel room
When he's trying to hang out with his boys and have a good time.
it did not go well.
Was he with like a hooker or something?
No, he
That
was.
would have been fun. She would have liked it.
Right.
He was literally watching the news. But
Oh, you guys are soulmates.
I know.
That's cute.
Yeah, it did not go well. But wait, question.
Are you getting married? Because you've been engaged longer than me. You've been engaged for like
I know,
so
it's
long.
weird.
know.
We're all going to get married before.
Forever engaged. Yeah, that happened.
I mean, at this rate, I'm gonna get married
For sure.
I don't
By the
even
way,
have anybody.
I have a Christmas present for Khalyla, but it's in my car. And so I don't know if I should get it now or during banana break. Should I do it at banana break?
Yeah,
I'll do it at banana break. Okay.
I love that you still do those. I love it. That's everything.
Yes.
I thought that was like just like a one-time thing, but then I watch your show and I'm like, oh, they always do like banana bread.
And everyone's like mad at us for it, but we can't.
Why? Oh, they
The
don't like
misophonic
ASMR?
people, yeah.
I love it.
Trisha,
Some people like it. Yes.
We've seen you do so much musicals, becoming different fast food, fast casual employees. Like what can you tell us about what you want for this year? What's coming down the pipeline? What's inspiring you? What are we gonna see?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I play like the Mega Millions every Tuesday and Friday. It's over $1 billion right now. It's like 1.3 billion. I always play it. I get $20 worth like every Tuesday, Friday. Like I swear I'm gonna win it. Like I see it in my head. So if I won the Mega Millions and get the $1 billion, I would go to India and I really want to make like a Bollywood film. Like I really about like me and Moses' like love story and like really do like the whole thing. Like I really
I like that you want it to be $1 billion
budget.
That's so good.
It will, because it has to be. It has to be really grand. I want to go to India. I want to do it because I always like saw myself adopting kids from India too. So maybe I'll do that. Yeah, yeah.
I like learning the dances,
the little like light bulb thing.
I had like a social media team who behind my back bought all these like really cheap ads. And so then I all of a sudden had all these like Indian, like everything was Indian.
Oh yeah.
But it was like at midnight in India. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like, why is everyone Indian?
Wait, where was this at? Where was this on?
It was my social media team had done. I had to fire them because I was like, did you do something? Like, no, we didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden, it was like all my reach was in India all of a sudden. So then I learned like Bollywood dances and stuff on my solo podcast. To be like,
they might buy them too, because I had someone do that on my Facebook, like monetize it, and then all of a sudden, like everyone from India was like watching my video. So I don't know if they like bought them or they just get like a bunch of people in India to do it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want that. I want real. I want authentic, not the India.
I love an Indian audience.
We have a producer. He's like how would you describe George? He's like kind of this nerdy.
He's like,
yeah, you did meet George.
Yeah,
he's Brett.
He had Bollywood dreams too.
What happened?
So he grew up.
George in Bollywood.
Yes, he moved to India to become a Bollywood director.
What?
What?
You guys don't know this?
What?
So he grew up.
The story unfolds.
Oh my!
He grew up in a religious. He had a religious upbringing, and they were not allowed a lot of things, which was dancing, no caffeine, no eating meat, nothing.
Yeah.
So when he was when he turned 18, I think like he lined up cocaine and like all like, and he was like, I'm gonna move to India and be a Bollywood director, and he lived there for a couple of years.
Did he do anything? Did he do any like?
I think at most he was a PA on a.
Wait a second, George is a failed Bollywood.
Oh,
He is, yeah.
I will
This
hire
explains
him.
a lot. He does seem like he has a dream that hasn't been realized.
Oh,
He's fighting something. I thought maybe he was in the closet, but it's not.
it's
the Bollywood.
I will totally hire him as the director, because I don't have a director in mind. I have actors in mind, but I don't have like a director.
Fulfill each other's dreams, and he knows all of the big like Indian. He knows them by like first, middle, last name.
I want to dress her like George. Like if we had this wig, but it was like had a mullet,
Like who?
and then put George's glasses on. The character of George.
I'll do it. I'll cosplay anybody. That'd be so.
It really is so fun. It's so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Wow. Maybe that's meant to be that. Oh my gosh, who's that? Oh,
That's
George.
him.
That's George.
Oh, I did.
You met him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, he looks so familiar. Did he have a baby?
He just had a second baby, a girl, and he says it's like night and day from when he had his first boy.
Oh, it's the feeling of having the kid, or having
No, the
girl?
baby, she's just dreamy and
Girls
are like that.
sleeps and just softer and much easier.
How do you guys feel about like the parenting style, like what George had, where I guess that's like a religion, I don't know, where like you're not allowed to have anything fun?
I'll tell you what happened.
Wait, what?
He went to
Oh,
Colombia and got like basically date raped and robbed. That's what happens if you restrict the child too much. They're gonna up and leave to Colombia and get
And people are
date
going to
rape.
sniff them out. They're going to sniff that virgin out.
Pete is dying.
The virgin.
Well, let me take this guy's virginity.
Like I grew up with no religion and no rules, so that's all I know. But I do feel like it made me not like when I got to college, I didn't try drugs, I didn't try alcohol because I was just like, there wasn't that like restraint or I don't know.
It wasn't like you feel like
It wasn't naughty.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I wonder like what is the right level though? Because I'm definitely not okay, but like
You're okay.
But you're good, you're not like dead in a ditch, at like 21, which is like totally, because I think mine's kind of like the opposite. Like I kind of grew up like, I wouldn't say like strict, we weren't like whatever, but my dad was like super religious, like Catholic, all that stuff like that. So like it was very much like you can't have sex until you're married, don't live with someone until you're married, like that kind of stuff. So then like when I turned like, I was like under 18, like 17 when I came to LA. Like I was just like full throttle, like having sex with everyone I could, like try any drug I could, because I was like, well, this is like what people do. And like, you know, I thought it was like fun. And no one told me, like, I was never told like how you get pregnant, how to give a blowjob, like none of this stuff. Yeah. So like in our school, we were taught abstinence and we weren't taught like condoms. So like I've never, this is like so embarrassing, but what? That's not embarrassing. It's whatever. I never like wore a condom with anyone because like I didn't even like know. I didn't even know what they were. Like it just seemed like something that like I did not want in my body.
Well, if it makes you feel
I like
better.
how you say wearing a condom, like you think you have to put it
yeah, right.
like you put it in and then they put their dick in.
I didn't
They didn't teach you.
If it makes you feel better, I grew up with a like very Jewish liberal education, and I definitely learned about condoms, and I also did not use them. So.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, condom, schmondom. We know Khalyla doesn't use it either. We're not a real condom couple.
Can you tell Trish about the time when you were like, you told a boy that no, we don't need to wear a condom, and he still insisted?
Yes. The first time I had sex with a guy, it was on our third date, and I was like, no, we don't need a condom. I was like, oh no, we don't need a condom, and he's like, no, we should use one. Wow. And now he's gonna be my husband.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Did you wake up in a puddle of blood? Was that who you bled for?
No, that was a different guy. Where I woke up with my period, and I was like, I
can't tell you how many times they're like, you're so wet. I'm like, yeah, I am pretty wet. And they're like, oh my God.
I had people get mad at me. They get like so pissed. It's like, why are you on my period? I'm like, it just started like, you know.
You popped it. You popped my period.
You plunged it out. But that really is a thing. You can plunge it out, I think.
But I do think it helps, like when you have like heavy flow, it does help to get a dicking down.
I think so too. You get the big clots. Yeah. But you got to do it in the shower. If I'm having a big crampy day, I go to the shower and I ask my partner, will you please plunge me?
No way.
He gets, the clots just come out and my cramps feel better.
That's how Esther gets her shit for fecal.
Esther, try it. Because do you get big cherries and apples in there?
I mean, of course I have it all, but the thought of sex on my period is very difficult for me. Like that is, I
have to surrender to it.
I don't want anyone in the same room with me when I have my period.
Oh, because you just feel really ill.
Is that why you don't scrub?
You guys have, like, you enjoy periods?
Well, I have so much anxiety about getting pregnant because Todd's like my person and my guy, and who I know, we have frozen embryos, but I just like don't want to get pregnant yet because I'm just having so much fun on the road, you know? And so I have so much anxiety that I know my like least chance of me getting pregnant is when I'm on my period, I think.
I just am super horny on my period.
Sorry,
I get like that too. I do get,
because you are kind of wet. You're like, okay, I'm squishy.
No, totally. And you just want to like do it. I mean, I kind of agree with you where I'm kind of like, it is like, I don't know. I don't like love it, but I do get so horny on it where I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to like stick a toy in there. So I was just like, let's do it. But the shower is a good alternative because I don't like it on the bed, like with a towel. Like it's just a little sticky and like gross. But I mean, I
those
agree.
nannies. Yeah. I need a nanny to do the laundry. I need a nanny. And then I need one nanny to take my period towel up. And
well, like, were you Jewish now? No, or just raised Jewish?
I was basically raised like kind of half, like barely religious Jew. Like I went to Jewish preschool and like culturally we did all the things, but my dad was not religious, so we didn't do the religious stuff.
And you're not practicing now?
No.
Because like Jewish and like in Judaism, like you're not even supposed to sleep in the same room as your wife when she's on her period. Like you have to sleep in like separate beds.
That's
for like
respectful.
Isn't that orthodox only though?
Break.
Respectful.
Fuck out of here.
Get away. What?
I feel like that's like super strict orthodox, right?
I mean, I see it on my TikTok. Again, I'm on like this like weird like Jewish TikTok now where it's like always talking about like when you can have sex and you can't use protection when you're like Jewish because it's like, you know, trying to like interfere with God's plan. Like it's like really interesting.
Well, I like that. So when you're on your period, like you're the meat and they're the milk, and it has to be like separate.
It's interesting. I was like, wow, that's so interesting. And I think it's like 2 weeks they can't sleep with each other.
How is Judaism going for you?
I didn't finish conversion. I really did try. It's so hard.
You're a Hebrew school dropout?
Yeah, I am a Hebrew school dropout. I literally have a shirt that says that.
There's a song. Do you know the NoFX song, The Bruise? It's a really good Jew song. You should listen to it.
Wait, are you Jewish?
I'm like a quarter Jew. Every time I do 23andMe, I get more Jewish. It's like so weird. I'm like, 23andMe, what are you fucking up to? What's going on here?
Everyone's a little Jewish.
And
wait, that would be cool if it was like run by Jewish people and they're just trying to slowly turn it.
I've been doing a joke about that where I'm like, Kanye, I don't know if you're right about Hollywood, but I think 23andMe is run by the Jews. Because they are recruiting me slowly.
Well, like initially, like when the first time I got 23andMe, this was like 10 years ago, there was like 2-3% that was unassigned. And they kind of don't know what that 2-3% is, but maybe that's why.
I think the more people that match your DNA come together, they use that information to like grow the. Right. But yeah, we're like 22% Ashkenazi.
Oh, interesting.
I see it.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Hello.
Oh my God. I think everyone is Jewish though. Like if you think about it, like everyone kind of stemmed from Abraham. I don't know.
Abraham Hicks.
Everyone was
been watching it. Anybody been watching Abraham Hicks videos on YouTube?
Oh, I live for Abraham Hicks. I get their like daily reminders to my
so
thing.
good.
Yeah.
Abraham Hicks is the first non-binary. They,
Totally,
I always think that.
Source.
Do you know what Abraham Hicks is?
Okay, can you explain this to me? I think I understand it. It's Esther Hicks and her husband.
And her husband's dead though, right? He passed away, right?
I don't know.
But Abraham Hicks is like an idea, an entity that she made up.
And it's not just one person. It's like the beings. Or
they
whatever.
like talk to her.
And she channels her. And it sounds so crazy, but it's like all of the work that I've done. Like if I watched these videos before I did Jim Fortin's podcast stuff, before I did hypnosis, all this stuff, I would be like, this makes no sense. I am in this fucking bliss state listening to them now. It makes so much sense. It's just all about like leaning towards like the light of your life and just like the happiness and that you're on the earth to have joy. It's just it's such a relief.
I was hooked. I like read like the first like 10 pages of it. And it literally is like her talking about how it was like for 15 minutes, she had like this orgasmic feeling like come over her where she's like, oh, it's just like peace. And like the answers like come to you later. And I do that every morning. Like when I was pregnant, I meditated for literally 2 hours every morning. Now I do like 15 minutes.
You really were like such a pregnancy icon because I feel like so many people in the spotlight when they get pregnant are like, I just want to like normalize how horrible this is.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone's like showing you their barf bucket and shit. Like ayahuasca ceremony. And it's like, I think that's great. Show your truth or whatever. But it's like, it is like, as when we're cuspies, like when we're like, are we going to do this or not? All of us. I feel
you
it's nice to have you were so happily pregnant.
I loved it. It was like the happiest. Like I just want to like get pregnant again to be pregnant. Like because the labor and delivery is kind of like awful. I mean, still not as bad as like people say. Like I was scared. I literally thought I was going to
Did you
like,
get a vajazzle? Did they cut you? The one hole?
No, wait, what? Up or this
when
way?
they cut the did you have a
Oh no, I had C-section. Yeah, I didn't like choose it. I actually like tried to push for like 3 hours because I thought that I love watching like birth vlogs, like people like pushing and then it comes out. There's something like so like I don't know, animalistic about it. And I like really wanted it, but it didn't work out for me. I was really sad. But I will say like C-section, and I don't want people to come for me. For me, it was like it's like so easy. I was pushing for 3 hours. I was like dying. They put an oxygen mask on me. The C-section, it was done in like 10 minutes and the baby's out. I'm like, well, we should have started with that. You know what I mean? Just taking it out of me. And it was like, so the recovery is like a little bit sucky, but I'm sure like a vaginal one would be really sucky
now,
too.
Okay, so speaking of Abraham Hicks and what you just said, where you were saying, I don't want people to come for me. I just listened to an Abraham Hicks yesterday that was about performers and stuff. And she was saying like, if you're attached to like the reaction of the audience, that's not really what the vibration is. What your job is as like a performer is that you are giving off your vibrations. And when they match and help people align with their vibrations, those are the people that you're there for. And the other ones just aren't. They just didn't match. They didn't align.
That's
what I've been thinking.
But that's true with everything, like frequency. Like if we're all on the same frequency and like you feels good. If it feels bad, then you're not just up at that level. I'm all about that too. I like never meditated. I thought it was like all bullshit, and now I'm like all about it.
It's so fun.
And I feel like answers like just come to you sometimes. Like you just sit in silence for like a half hour, and like all of a sudden like throughout like a couple days later, you're like, oh, that's the answer to this.
Yeah, I've been doing breath work too. Do you ever do breath work?
Oh, all the time, because I'm like borderline. So I do like DBT classes, which is all about like breathing exercises and stuff like that, which is like kind of the same thing. It's all kind of the same, like meditation. Yeah. I love it. I love doing that stuff, and it really helped me get myself under control.
Did you have like, I'm noticing this is something that women are talking about more, which is like the fourth trimester, which is like the 3 months after you give birth, that are actually, some people say, are much harder than the pregnancy. Did you experience that?
Yeah, for sure. It is kind of weird because I never thought I like had like postpartum depression, because I was like, I feel pretty good. But they're definitely your hormones do get out of whack. There was times like I would just like cry like a month after my daughter was born. My Chemical Romance was in town, and I had tickets for all 5 nights, and I wanted to go so bad. And every night I was like, I really want to go, but I just was like, no, I need to stay home. Like I feel so guilty, and I just ended up not going to any of the 5 nights. And like the last night, I just like bawled my eyes out. I like locked myself in the bathroom for literally like 5 hours. I slept on the couch at night. Like I was like pissed at my husband for some reason. I don't know. And he's like, if you want to go, you should go. Like go with your sister. And I was like, no. And I was like so upset. And I'm like, why am I so upset over this? Like I wanted my daughter my whole life, and I'm like so mad that I can't go see like My Chemical Romance. So it's like stuff like that happens, and it's really scary because I was like, shoot, like what's wrong with me? And just other things, like sometimes you're like, oh my God, like I had a baby, like this is for life, like there's no turning back. Like that can like also like kind of like mess with you for a little bit. But I think that's like relatively normal. When I talk to people about it, like everyone else kind of feels that same way, where I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and also like this is like the rest of my life, like I can't like go back. So there's like moments like that, but it's few and far between.
Thank you for sharing that. I really like hearing stuff like that, because it's like I feel like at least I want to anticipate those kinds of feelings, so that when they do, if they ever do hit, I'm not. And for other women, you don't think
you're like a freak.
Yeah, like it's so weird how little people know about postpartum depression. Like I can't remember if I've talked about this here, but my dad recently was like, postpartum depression, is that where they try to kill the baby? And I'm like, whoa,
oh my God.
We do not know. Like, it's just not talked about enough.
Yeah, but stuff like that does happen where people do like have like violent thoughts about that, like stuff like that. It's like actually like, as I looked really into it, I was like, is what I have, just me being sad about my romance depression compared to, it's different levels because some people are, and some people need to like be separated from the baby and stuff. Like it can be like scary for sure. But it really is like a hormonal thing. Like it's not really like your thoughts. It's not like real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like your hormones are so out of whack, and it's like birth is like trauma. Like it's like you go through like this trauma of like trying to push this baby out and you're like worried it's gonna go wrong. Like it's a lot. Like, and I was on a lot of medications, like a lot of drugs. When I got the C-section, they gave me like the fentanyl and stuff like that. And I was like out of my mind. And I remember when she came, I like didn't know where she was. I mean, obviously my husband was there the whole time, but like I didn't know where she was, and it was, or like what was happening. It was
yeah. When
like,
you
freaky.
get a C-section, do they just like show you the baby, right? Because they have to like do surgery on you.
Yeah,
you don't get to really like bond with it.
No,
right
I know. I didn't get any skin to skin at all. It was literally like they took her out. My husband cut the like umbilical cord and then like washed her off. They like put her in your face, like kiss the baby, and then they like take it away, and that's it. Like it was really like crazy. And then you're in the hospital for a few days. But again, I was on so many medications. When I went home from the hospital, I chose not to take any like pain medication because I hated being out of it so much. Like I was so confused what was happening, and it was like crazy. But like I thought I would be worse, honestly. I thought I'd be more like depressed, and because like when we started living together, me and Moses, like I would wake up every morning and be like, oh my God, there's someone next to me, and I was like worried that was gonna happen with a baby. Like, oh my God, I have a baby. But I don't really like feel that way as much. It's more like, but with Moses, I really was just like, oh my God, there's someone like like when we got married, I was like, oh my God, he's next to me every morning. It was like weird. I have like that weird adjustment. I don't know. But yeah, but the baby is like the best decision. I want more.
It's interesting that your dad said, oh, isn't that when like women like kill their babies? What I learned in nursing school is that when young kids or young babies come in for like head trauma, most of the time they call it like shaken baby syndrome. Like 99% of the time it's from the dad.
Oh,
Interesting.
And I'm like, a lot of times it's like, I think just like as a mother, like you know how like the likelihood of you rolling over your dog if you're a woman is like really low, but the likelihood of a dude rolling over your dog, same with a baby. I think that you're just sort of like primed more to like hear cries, like kind of react
if Todd
better.
rolled over Randy,
your dog,
Randy, it would be a problem.
I think about that a lot, like with that how women have so much more intuition and attention to detail, because Dave, my partner, he's very smart. Like he is smarter than me, whatever, like that's fine. But I've noticed, and I've learned it through him, it's like my ability to remember details, pay attention to details is so much more in tune and advanced than his. And I'm like, oh, it's literally like that's just a skill that women have that men don't have.
Right. Same. Yeah. Like even I call them the tippy tappies of my dogs. If somebody needs to pee in the middle of the night, they don't need to whine or bark. I can hear their tippy tappies. Yeah. And Bobby would, if they were barking, whining, like scratching at his face, he still wouldn't wake up.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the tiniest little like tip, 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 I'm awake. And I'm like, okay, let me take you out. And I think that just women are a little bit better in that way.
Yeah,
I do feel like a innate nurturing thing, like even the other day when you put my stuff up on the stool when we were at the Comedy Store, it's like, yeah, those little things, you just like notice little things that.
Yeah, that's like coming up for me more in my 30s. I'm like, I want to care for things.
Yeah.
It's
well, because I think
strange.
With our options, right, of like we can not have kids and still live these like rock star lifestyles and do all this stuff, but I think you have to find out where to put your energy, because I think you just naturally are supposed to at a certain age be focusing on something else, like just as our bodies are like made and stuff. So it's like, what do you do with that? Because if it's just going onto yourself, you're gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I was at that level too. I was like 33 when I got pregnant, and it's kind of one of those like stages where I just feel like, oh my, I mean, you can have kids in your 40s obviously too, but like it was one of those stages where it's like, okay, like now or never, like I'm gonna have kids or I'm not gonna have kids. But then it's like also you don't know if you're gonna be a good mom until you have a kid, and then like it's kind of like, again, too late. So if you're like, wait, I'm not good at this, like you kind of, but I will say like what you were just saying, the maternal instinct kind of kicks in, because I'd never considered myself maternal or like nurturing before. I was like really selfish. And so when I did have a baby, it does kind of like just kick in that like, you know how to take care. Like I just know, you just like knew how to take care of her. Like, when she's hungry, what her cries are for, which is like something I never felt with like any baby or anything, or even dogs. Like I was very just like not good at like taking care of anything. I never took care of anything. And it's actually
I think that's so sweet, because like you're molecularly entangled.
Yeah.
Like you're just connected. You're oxytocin is completely related to the cry.
Yeah, it's so true. They say like the cuddles like alone, like, and it really does. Like when I was feeling like, you know, my bouts of depression or I feel really sad, like literally like cuddling with a baby like increases all those levels. It's like crazy. It's like really, yeah, it feels really natural. And it is an extension. I mean, for the first month, the baby thinks it's like still a part of you. It was like really crazy. So that's why like you can't be apart from it.
Esther still thinks she's a part of her parents.
I am. That's because I am.
Only child syndrome.
Maybe a too personal question, but just want to ask in case, but you don't have to answer. Like sex life after baby is I hear that like it's really hard, and then sometimes it's like people don't have a problem. Is there anything you can share on that?
So interesting, yeah. And again, I never want to like discredit anyone else's journey because like my pregnancy is so easy, and like honestly, I like wanted to have sex like right away. It was actually so weird. Like I was so horny, but you bleed, and this is something I didn't know. Maybe a lot of people know this, but like you bleed for like 6 weeks after, like just constantly. Like I wore a diaper for 6 weeks after, you're just like constantly bleeding.
Esther's dream.
The bathtub, yeah, it's literally that. So like the only thing that was like really stopping us was that like I was like bleeding, but I was like really really horny, but I also didn't have vaginal, so like I didn't like it didn't hurt, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that would make like such a big, because you have stitches down there and stuff. Like to me that's why. So I had the C-section, but I had like a like lipo and stuff before, and to me it was kind of like the same recovery thing for that. But we had sex like within like 3 weeks. I mean, we were like, oh, okay, because they say you're also really fertile, and of course we want another baby, and my husband's like in his 40s, so we're like, let's try for baby number 2 right away. So we've been trying, but no luck yet. But hopefully soon. But like they say you're really fertile. Yeah, they're like, because I never thought I was gonna get pregnant. I was like infertile for like so long, and we did this one test called the HSG test where they like clear your tubes out, and we got pregnant like right after that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I like couldn't get pregnant even with my husband. Not like we couldn't get pregnant for like a year and a half. So it was crazy. As soon as we did that test, got pregnant. So maybe we'll do that again. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
One of my good friends, she has 4 kids now, but she said that the doctor was like, well, listen to your body when it's time to have sex again. You know, we always say 6 weeks, but just listen to your body. Yeah. You know when you know. And she's like, I had my husband like just pop those stitches at 2 weeks. She was like, I was so fucking horny. I listened to my body. She's like, I couldn't do it. I was willing to just give any, like risk anything to get fucked.
That's kind of how I felt too. Because you're like, it's like a de-stressor. Like, I don't know. Sex to me is like very like, it's like something to de-stress. And it's like, you can't really do much anyways when you have a newborn. So it's kind of like, that's kind of the thing. I loved it. I mean, I still do. And it's just, I don't know. You just feel like more like sexy. I don't know.
And I feel like it's probably harder to have sex when the kids are more like, they need you more as far as like walking around, and you need to be like really watching.
Yeah, for sure. Like to me,
that's what the cages are for.
They do have those. They have
oh my god, is that why they put you in a cage? Because they were just banging so much.
That's my culture. Oh no.
That's good. That's good. It's a good thing. You don't want your parents not banging.
I just don't want to know about it.
Yes, you do. You do, Esther. You do.
I'm so excited that we're working with Green Chef because I love their food. It tastes so good.
Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well, with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Green Chef has options for every lifestyle: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. As the only keto meal kit, Green Chef makes sticking to carb-conscious lifestyle easy.
It's so easy to have something delicious. You don't have to sacrifice taste. They're great. You're not like going to the store having to find all these stuff. It's just like really easy.
But like literally, listen to this. Green Chef's pre-made and pre-measured sauces, dressings, and spices. They make keeping a healthy lifestyle even easier and like taste good, and you don't have to stress and worry about it. Put the time you save on meal prep towards actually achieving your 2023 goals.
And what I love is that Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. They offset 100% of their carbon footprint, as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. And they feature organic produce, premium proteins, and sustainably sourced ingredients.
I love, sometimes I'll get the vegan meals, and then sometimes I'll do the keto. Like I'm, not religiously attached to one, but I love switching it up. And also they have Mediterranean. I just like that you can try different lifestyles and like see what you're feeling that week,
It's completely customizable.
It's just great. It's so hard. Like when you go on one of these types of diets too, where you have to like check all the ingredients and stuff. It's so hard. You can't go out to eat really. It's so hard to do it. You know, there's going to be something hidden and stuff. If you're doing keto, you have to be in ketosis. So it is really important to make sure everything's measured out. And this does it for you. It's like, come on. And it's delicious.
I feel really good about it too because 100% of their seafood meets the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch rankings of certified best choice or good alternative.
Oh, I keep that little booklet
I do
in
too,
my wallet.
Yeah. No, I know it because like Monterey Bay is like they're the top tier of fish.
Go to greenchef.com/TrashTuesday60 and use code TrashTuesday60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/TrashTuesday60 and use code TrashTuesday60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone. I love switching between the brands, and now our listeners can do the same. We're so like baby starved. This is crazy. Or I'm just thinking for myself.
I'm just curious. And she's like been such a public, like I feel like you're like the public-facing millennial with a baby.
And we saw you right before you got pregnant too.
Last time we had you that was crazy. That's so long ago. Yeah, and you came to my wedding. I love that you came.
I'm so sad I missed your wedding.
No, I know. I knew you guys were busy. You were in Hawaii.
So and beautiful.
Yeah. I was shocked to see you actually, because you know, like always, you're like, you know, you don't expect anyone to come to the wedding. So when I saw you, I was so excited.
Oh my gosh, no.
You look so great. You were the only one in color, and I
know.
loved
I
it.
felt so bad.
No, I kind of lived for it. We had a dress code of like wearing all white, and Esther had like this bright turquoise thing, and you looked beautiful though. I was like everything.
You
look cute.
Read it wrong. I don't.
I loved it. I loved it. Seriously, I loved it because you like stuck. Like I saw you. Like I could see you like in the crowd. Like,
I needed to stand out.
Yeah, no, you look great.
What inspired that? Because that was so unique and special. You actually like gave me some, dare I say, my own wedding motivation because like you created this like unique experience where, like she said, everyone was supposed to wear white, not me, but and you came out in this beautiful black, amazing, gorgeous wedding gown. Like, what inspired that?
Well, I mean, Christine Quinn got married the year before, and she had a black one, so I really was inspired by that. But like, she didn't really have the dress code. The reason the dress code came around was because like. Our wedding ended up being a disaster because like we spent so much and it looked like really cheap. Like we had no lighting. It was crazy. We got scammed all over the place for our wedding. Like literally like 2 weeks before our wedding, nothing was booked except for the venue. So like we had to like pull, like we like spent all our savings trying to get like entertainment and like some sort of like things because I don't know where all the money went. Like we definitely got a little scammed. I'm not gonna lie. So it was like very frustrating. So we didn't have like any props, any flowers. If you notice, there was like no flowers at our wedding, even though our wedding was crazy expensive and it looks like it was like literally $20,000, but we like got scammed out of like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No flowers is kind of iconic though.
Oh my, it was not iconic.
You don't need a fucking flower.
We put like candles from our own home down like the aisle. It was like literally that. And so we thought, well, if we have like our guests wear all white, like they kind of like become like part of the decoration. So like when you watch like the crowd, you see like all this like sea of like white and everyone looks like really pretty.
And then so Esther.
I lived for it. I really did. I thought that was everything.
What color did you wear?
It was a turquoise coat. I think I had white on underneath the coat and it was cold, maybe.
It's always cold in Esterland.
I liked
always
it.
cold in Esterland.
And you came by yourself, right?
I did.
Because I was like,
myself.
I thought your like fiance was gonna come with you.
No, I know. I forgot where. I think he had something weird that night, and I was like, I'm gonna go by myself.
Todd and I were so bummed because we were like really looking at like furry white jackets and stuff. Like we were gonna really go.
I love going to things by myself. Like I met such great people at my table.
I love that.
Did you have to like learn to love it?
No.
I love being alone.
Boyfriend blocked you.
No, that's something I can't do. I cannot go to places alone. I cannot like go to restaurants by myself, movies by myself. I don't even like going like again, Moses used to come with me everywhere. Like he'd drive me everywhere and stuff. Like even now it's like scary to go anywhere by myself. Like to go to like through a fast food by myself. I like don't like it at all. But to go to a wedding by myself, I'd be like, you're like have the confidence. I told you this in text too. Like your confidence is like so insane. You just like don't give a shit about anything.
Thank
and
you.
I love that. I love everything about it. I follow you for hot girl tips, but you're like the hot girl of my heart.
Oh my God, I love you, Trisha.
I love you. I really do. I got so excited when you texted me. I was just like, oh my God, I get it.
Oh my God, we're soulmates.
But I know. I try not to fangirl too hard.
No,
I get
it's mutual.
so excited.
Oh my God. Like, no, ask Carlos. I was like, Trisha's coming.
Oh my God. I was dying when you showed up in Reboot because that was like my show. I like lived for that show and I didn't know you were going to be on it. And I was like, look at Esther. I wish they stopped that halfway. I love that show.
I feel like they might have more. I'm
Reboot?
not sure.
Reboot.
It's a show on Hulu with Rachel Bloom. It's really good. I feel like it's really good actually.
So good and a huge cast.
Yeah.
I love it. I love, what's this? Keegan-Michael.
Yeah.
I like that Esther does pop up. Esther pops up.
It's crazy.
If you look at any TV show from like the past like 13 years, there's like always like a little Esther cameo.
Playing an 18-year-old, like above age 18 to look younger. That was my sweet spot for a while.
That's how I feel about Sosie's boyfriend, Scoot.
Yeah, Scoot's in everything.
Scoot's in everything. We have a friend, Sosie Bacon, and her boyfriend. I mean, now we have a running joke in the house where it's like, oh, Scoot's in it. Scoot's in it. Scoot's in everything.
Fucking everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
I fucking love Scoot.
Yes. He's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really hot.
Yeah, he's that person that like you wouldn't know his name, but you see his face everywhere.
They match really well together too.
Yeah.
Who's his girlfriend? Someone like an actress?
She was in that
Smile.
Smile.
She was the lead.
Is that a horror movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that. Like, oh wow, yeah, they're the it couple. Cute. I love
her dad. Show her.
Her dad's Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin Bacon's her papa.
I wonder if that gets annoying.
Sedgwick.
Like because everyone's like, oh, your dad's Kevin. They get excited, you know, that her dad's Kevin Bacon. Like, or does she like love it? Because I wondered that.
I've always wondered that. I've always wondered.
Seems like annoyed by it.
She never seems annoyed by it.
She loves her family. They're like a really close family.
Because then you see people like Bono's son, like never like be associated with his dad. Like I'm like, why wouldn't she want to? Because he has his own band and stuff. I'm like, why wouldn't she want to say you're Bono's son? You know?
Well, the iconic Billy Bob Thornton thing where he got mad when he was like doing something with his band and they kept wanting to talk about the movies that he was doing and he like didn't want to do it. But it's like, I feel like you should be proud of all the things you're doing and bring it to all of your.
That whole thing right now is the Nepo babies. Everyone's like pissed about Nepo babies. I'm like, it's just so crazy to me. Like, why do people care that much? Like, why do they care? Like, you have to be like talented to like be on Stranger Things, like Uma Thurman's daughter. I'm like, you know, she's obviously like a good actress.
And you're hanging out with good actors all the time too.
Yeah.
So you're like.
But also the idea that if my father was a mechanic and I was around mechanics and then I myself become a mechanic because I love cars is like, am I a mechanic Nepo baby?
Yeah, literally.
It's like, it's just kind of what you're immersed in.
I just watched Made, the like short series on Netflix with Andy McDowell's daughter in it. Yeah. And she's such a good actress. It's like, you can't like fake being a good actor. Like she was just like really good at it.
There are some Nepo babies where I'm like, okay, like acting could use, some work there.
I think the problem, like what seems to be like the theme of the conversation is like when people are a Nepo baby and they're like, that didn't help me. I think like that's what pisses people off.
Especially I think in the modeling world.
Yeah.
Right.
Not so much in acting because you really have to kind of prove your worth in acting because people can obviously see whether or not you're talented. But in modeling, like Kendall Jenner saying like, or who was it? Who was like, you know, like I really did work so hard. And of course you work so hard, but you had the leg up.
Yeah. You have the connection.
Yeah. Also working hard to be a model. Okay.
But it's never, but
no, I'm proud of all of you, but
I also agree with you guys. It's like, it's cool. I mean, we all like it. Like we like seeing someone and finding out, oh my God, they're that person's kid. Like it's fun when you watch
It's very fun. You see it was a short-lived TV show, I think. I don't think it got a second season. I also saw a couple episodes, but it was a fun idea. It was like a bunch of Nepo babies put in a house and it was hosted by like the other Jonas brother. And it's like they're all siblings or nieces or cousins or daughters of famous people.
Claim to fame.
Love
that show.
What a fun premise. Yeah.
It was so good. But it wasn't fair because they had like Dean Martin's granddaughter. I'm like, who's going to know that? Because you had to like basically guess who they were related to, which is like so crazy because some of these people were just so random.
They have to have known each other, right? Like, don't Nepo babies know each other?
But then I was like, were they Nepo babies? Like Brett Favre's daughter. Like who would know, you know? And then, but of course, in like Laverne Cox's twin brother, of course, you're going to know that's Laverne Cox's. Like, it wasn't so fair. Yeah, maybe they knew, or maybe they gave him like hints or something like that. Like Keke Palmer's sister was on there, and it was just like, I don't know. It was an interesting. I love that show though. I was really, like so about it
because I love the like who looks like who and what. Like when you meet someone's baby or someone's kid or someone's parents, like I love seeing like the combination of the parents.
I love when Nepo babies turn into Chet Hanks. And who's that other one?
Yes, when they go away.
Yeah. I mean, but I love that kind of rebellion. And who's the other one?
And Chet Hanks, it's so funny.
So funny.
Siblings?
I think they are, yeah.
Whoa. I thought it was like,
it's wild. You have one, there's usually one rapper in the bloodline.
Yeah.
Should we banana break?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Wait, but whose daughter is a daughter of a really big director who became a porn girl?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not Steven Spielberg. It's somebody else.
I'll get it.
Bobby told me this recently, but they try to like keep it on the hush.
He's a famous director's
daughter, like a huge director.
I also have like a Nepo baby I just found. She's a model. She's not that successful at it, but she's like really pretty. Jake Ryan from 16 Candles' daughter. Remember he quit? He like quit acting.
Right, he did.
I was just like, where is he now? And they're like, his daughter's a model. But he married a model and then had kids and then quit acting. Did you watch 16 Candles? Was that one of the two movies you saw?
It's Steven Spielberg's daughter, by the way.
Oh my God.
What?
My alma mater, Long Beach State.
Name?
Michaela.
Wow.
Whoa.
Steven Spielberg.
What?
Oh my God, that.
I'll be right
This
back.
is from
Khalyla's
2020.
Is a healing journey. That's so interesting. So she thought doing porn was.
Wow, that's awesome.
Before I leave, can I just say,
Wait, this is my gift hour?
I'm going to get you a gift. Now Esther is known to call me out on my ridiculous spending.
Oh no.
This is one where I can say this was a wild purchase.
Oh my God.
This was very impulsive. I saw
get it now.
I saw it. I don't think anyone really owns one. I might be the only one that actually bought one. It was $360.
Oh my God.
Don't feel pressure to do it. I already told you when you are given a gift, you can throw it in the dumpster. It's fine. It's already been done. I thought at one point it had been stolen by a homeless person. And I was like, this is actually the funniest thing for someone to steal. But it did come in the mail yesterday.
I'm so excited.
I'll be right back.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
It's a man-sized teddy bear to spoon at night when you're lonely.
Annie, that rules. Wait,
I know. I wish you had a dick.
go away.
Do not touch my lover.
There's only one rule. When you're on your period, it has to be in another room.
You were right.
He's
it's a divorce
Jewish.
present.
And the weight is really
is it
good.
amazing?
Hang on, let me roll with him.
No, you could really spoon it, straddle it.
Where did you find that?
It was like, I think like a gag thing that was like, I saw on a meme and I bought it. I'm the bitch that buys the meme thing.
I love that.
Isn't it
tall.
good?
Wow.
No, I
got a thick boy.
I got you.
Oh my God.
Esther, it's a boy. It's not a girl. Get up.
Oh my God.
Demonetized.
Isn't it so good?
Censored. Wow.
This is the greatest gift I think.
Like, imagine
ever.
a homeless person stole that and was like just on the street.
Are we sure it wasn't? It didn't spend a night with a
It
homeless
did
person.
not, I promise. It did not. We got the box yesterday. Todd and I were laughing. Todd's like,
It's
on
awesome.
my solo podcast, Annie Wood, we have a segment called the Thing segment because I just always buy things, and this is probably my most epic
love
thing.
that.
Can I? I'm not really into dudes with small heads.
But the body's good.
The body is good. I
It's
usually go for
good.
really big heads. You know, I like big headed dudes. But I love a tubby right
He's
here.
so
On your lap.
fucking hot. Like his body type.
Long legged. Look at the calves. You know, I don't like chicken legs.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Oh my God.
Annie, you nailed it.
Wait, I could put like I can make this a little bit stiffer and use it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I should have gotten you the
Tiniest.
rubber fist to like put in it.
Oh, he's so cute. You could just swap the heads. If you want a bigger head, just swap it out.
Also,
Todd's like, you fucking bought that? I was like, yes, I did. I like to spoil my girls. When I see somebody get it.
thank you so much. This means so much to me.
You're
Ow, my
welcome.
shoulder.
So cool.
Oh no. Maybe you can get his shoulders. I heard that bone on bone.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome. I don't know why he's so sad. You got to lift his eyelids up.
Was he like 5'10"?
And I think he's a little taller.
I think he's taller than me.
He is.
You guys
okay.
look cute.
Trisha,
Yes, cute.
I love it. It's so cute.
another
That's so
question.
Love it.
We're so happy for you.
Congrats.
I knew I was going to set you up with someone.
I have a podcast coming out soon. Yeah, I have two actually, but I can't talk about them until like February. They're two separate ones, totally different, with two different like companies and two totally different people. One's with a guy, one's with a girl. And so like I haven't done podcasts. That's why I like came to do this because I haven't done podcasts in so long. So I've been trying to like get back out there doing like podcasts and stuff like that because I just like don't know if I'm like good at it because I like literally.
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't know.
Very, very
Are
good.
When I
you-
was pregnant, I like didn't see anyone, and I was like, "Can I even talk to people anymore?" Like
Yes.
it's really, it's scary. So that's why I was like, "Let me come try this again."
I don't want to knock yesterday, but today has a glisten to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is something you will never lose. That's just innately you're just good at it.
I hope. I don't know. And also I like don't do much anymore. Like I used to have like all this like controversy and like I don't really just do anything. I don't like say anything. I don't even keep up, like genuinely I don't keep up with like anything that's out there. So like if people are like, oh, Trisha's gonna get riled about this, I see it all the time. Like, are you gonna respond? And I have no idea what anyone's talking about. I don't even like go to like indulge in it because I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just got so tired of everything. I don't know. And like, again, I brought on like all the drama myself. So I was just like so tired. It was like so exhausting. So I was just like, just like, I don't really like go online. I just go on TikTok and that's it. And there's like no drama about me. And if there is, I like scroll. As soon as I see something, I'm like scroll. But
that's
nothing.
Great to do.
Yeah. But there's nothing really going on. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe there is. But for me, I'm like, I don't think there's anything going on.
Yeah. I feel like since doing this podcast, I've really arrived at this place of like people are, I think we even talked about this yesterday. It's like some people are going to hate you. Some people are going to love you. You might as well just do you.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do, they're not going to like it or they're going to like it.
So true. Like last year, I didn't like talk about anyone, anything. I disengaged from everything and they still found like ways to like hate on me. It was like so crazy. And I was like, okay, that's why I had to like stop reading because I'm like, I'm literally doing nothing and getting hate. So.
But Khalyla came up with you were saying like maybe like 3 or 4 episodes ago where you were like, I'm just like, you're like surrendering to the fact that you're just like an online celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Like,
whatever it is
yeah.
they need me to be to exist in a compartment in their mind, I cannot like contend with that or compete with that. So whatever it is that I am to you as an audience member I accept it.
Yeah.
All I truly care about for myself is who I am to my mother, my family, my friends, my coworkers. And those are the things that I can control.
And who else?
And my new boyfriend, who I will treat with so much. But I sent you the quote from the Velveteen Rabbit because I had forgotten about that. And I texted Esther at like 2 a.m. yesterday. And you forget like all of these gems that, you read when you're younger and you're like, wait, like now it lands a little bit differently. And the quote is, once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand. And I don't know, that just, I'm like, that just releases you of like so much,
Yeah, it's just like it's so much about them. I've had so many times in my life, more so recently because I think I'm open to it, where all of the answers to why someone was treating me a certain way are like, I go, oh, and it has nothing to do with me. Like even I had this really crazy thing happen. So I was sexually assaulted by one of my teachers in high school. Sorry, trigger warning. But by one of my teachers in high school. And one of like the hardest parts was the year after I graduated, I went back to the high school. It was a really small school. I had this sort of like Stockholm syndrome thing. Like I kept going back to the school to kind of be like, I'm good. It wasn't me. Like I wasn't the bad thing. And like, do you guys still like me? Even though the whole school like didn't really support me in taking this teacher out. And I would keep going back. And one of my like most painful memories was going back and the teacher that I had gone to tell what had happened to, it was 2 art teachers. So the teacher that had done something to me, and then there was this other art teacher that I went to, and I was like, he did this to me. And he was so mean to me when I went to the graduation ceremony the next year. He screamed at me and told me to get out of the room. And I like couldn't understand, why would you be mean to me after this happened? Like it just didn't make any sense to me. And then I talked about it on Mark Maron's podcast like 3 or 4 years ago. And, people just randomly will like DM me having heard it. I got a DM from one of my other teachers from that time, my math teacher. And he was like, I don't know if you remember me, but I just listened to your Mark Maron thing. He's like, I'm really proud of you. He goes, I also want to let you know that teacher that was rude to you I found out, he goes, I didn't even know you went to court. I would have gone with you to support you. I had no clue. He goes, he found out after like all these things went down that that teacher that was rude to me was the teacher that had assaulted me's teacher when he was in high school there. Oh. And he had a relationship with him.
Oh shit.
So he had been his molester. And it's like, so he was lashing out at me because I came for his like ex-boyfriend, or they thought, and the whole school has this weird like history of this type of shit.
Well, he had the Stockholm syndrome too.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't forgive him. You don't do that to people. But
Right.
I mean, I forgive, no, I forget, that's not true. I forgive him, but I don't excuse that behavior in any way. But and then there was just so many other things that unfolded about that school. And it's just like, oh my God, I was just like in this like predator's den thinking that it was my fault this whole time. And that this was just this one experience that happened to me. And it was like the whole institution. So Chris Hansen, come on Anniewood, come on my solo pod. But it was like, he wrote me this thing and it was just this key to like, So for that was I was like 15 when that happened, 16. And so I'm like, for years have been just carrying around this like confusion about it. And so now my goal is either to like ask the universe to give me more of those answers or to just be settled in that it is not me. And when those things happen, it really does not have to do with me. There's so many like factors about it that have nothing.
That you just can't control.
To clarify, it's like that guy yelled at you and then that made you feel.
It internalized.
It made you feel like you must have done something wrong. But then.
I was so confused by it too. Like, what did I do to make him treat me? But it's like he had this whole affair and other thing that I had no clue about.
And it was him yelling at you was nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and it was like this missing piece of the whole thing. And there's so many other things. Again, Chris Hansen, let's do this. You ready? Annie Wood, come on my soul podcast. We have a lot to talk about.
At this point, you, me, and Chris Hansen need to go on the road.
I mean, sorry, Esther, you're out.
Esther, you haven't been diddled enough.
That's fine.
She rhymes with molester.
I'll be the stage manager. That's fine.
No, but that's why I think I will not send my daughter to like public schools at all because the same thing happened to me so like in so many different situations and some more serious than others. But like no one did anything about it. People still to this day like tell me I lied about like my sexual assault from like middle school and stuff, and they weren't like not even there. And people who like came forward, they shame. It's like insane. I like don't, and it's not like everyone. I'm not saying like don't send your kids to public school, but like I just couldn't.
Mine was an alternative school for troubled kids, so that's another place to be careful because it's a target because the kids are less
reliable.
Yeah,
that's the guy who we both went to BHC.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, I had no idea.
But the
BHC
is a psych hospital, right?
Yeah, no,
but the third time I was in a psych hospital was one in Torrance, and the guy who was one of our counselors there, he ended up asking me out, and I ended up dating him. And I was 17 years old, and he was in his 30. And I just remember him. The only image I have of him now is I'm like, this guy wears a lot of Aeropostale. I'm like, I don't think he's that cool. Like all the girls.
American?
He's.
I wrote an Aeropostale for me. It was like kids that came over from Mexico.
I gotta live for Aero. I used to have the Aero shirts.
But he was Latino. But yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if I would have said anything then, they would have been like, no, she just tried to kill herself. Like she's an unreliable. Zero credibility on my end. So I was just. But then also at that time, I just didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I was like, ooh, I'm dating the counselor from the psych hospital.
Yeah, like it feels
so
you
fun.
feel like chosen and good.
Yeah, because all the girls at the hospital were like, oh, he's kind of cute. And so on the last day he was like, hey, let me help you pack. And I was like, And I remember singing like a Casey and JoJo song like all my life, you know. It was like, that's a really good song.
Isn't it so annoying how many like molested moments stole great songs? Like, I like cannot hear Journey Open Arms because I got like molested by this archery instructor at Club Med. This
like Casey and JoJo song, great. That's what's really
Are you kidding? Grow up. That is very Gen Z, bitch.
Oh my
You're a millennial. Stop playing. Stop trying to get your TikTok up.
Not on the inside.
That was written for his daughter. That song.
Really?
That Casey and JoJo song was written for his daughter. And then they were like, that's not like sexy enough. So then they turned it into like a relationship song.
Oh, that's sad.
But
why did I have to like tarnish it? Like there's not a lot of songs for
Butterfly
like,
Kisses. All there's is like Butterfly Kisses.
Yeah.
Butterfly Kisses.
I love that song.
They're great.
That was a hit in the Philippines.
Maybe you need to make this your dad. Maybe instead of a boyfriend, this is your dad.
Do you know
I could give you a dad. That's what I would give you.
Do you guys know that Ricky Gervais was a pop icon in the Philippines?
What?
What?
Yeah, before he was a stand-up comic, he was part of this 80s duo. Look it up. And they weren't big anywhere in the world but the Philippines.
Is this why he has to come so hard for everyone? Because he needs to really protect himself from how embarrassing it is to used to have been a pop star?
Look at this.
From Time magazine.
Oh wow!
Oh my God, he was cute.
Yeah.
Guys,
I can see them being big over there. Like that looks like
You know who else was huge? There's Steven Seagal. But I think he was huge everywhere.
Is he Filipino? Is he?
No, he's not.
And Pepsi for a second saw the doc. They fucked your people.
Yes.
They fucked your people.
Thank you.
Why?
And you know what? I
Fucked your
feel
people.
like I was one of the first people who talked about,
Yes.
there's this documentary about how Pepsi ruined my country. But
Now, okay, so Pepsi, I can't remember what it's called, but Pepsi was doing these like point systems and stuff. And they had a thing where they were doing like on caps, like there would be like one out of however many would be like, you get what, $1 million?
Like, $1 million.
Which in the Philippines is like huge.
Yeah.
Life chain things. But they misprinted and
everyone got them.
Oh.
So then they gave them like $20. They're like,
they all got $20. Imagine you won your $1 billion to go make your Bollywood movie.
Oh my God.
And they're like, Trisha, just kidding, here's $20.
Oh my God, that was. But I guess I wouldn't feel like I was like one chosen as like everyone was chosen.
Yeah.
So, but still would suck. When was that? Were you over there?
But this is also like a third world country where people are like, this is a third world country.
Yeah.
And Pepsi has all that money.
Because the only reason they did that is because Coke was like so prevalent there that they wanted to come in and infiltrate the Coke scene and steal cola from them. And then they did this fucking thing that was just like so fucked up.
Thank you so much for watching a documentary about my country, Annie.
Yeah. Well, they didn't like it. It was about a hangar jet, and then there was like a little piece about your country. That was,
oh, really?
And then there was this other thing.
How many people are in the Philippines?
Now about 100 million people.
Oh,
and how many of those are your brothers that you've had?
About 95 million.
How do you feel about how the Philippines are portrayed in like 90 Day Fiancé, like Big Ed and stuff like
God,
that? Are you, like,
it really, really, really bothers me. Not because of how they're portrayed. It's just this idea that you can go over there and kind of exploit someone's what do you call it? Like, but I'm a product of that, so I can't say too much.
Yeah.
My dad was in his mid-50s when he got with my young 20-something mother, and they had a 36-year age gap. So like I'm kind of a product of a predatory relationship. My dad had a lot of money, even though he didn't set out to go to the Philippines to find a wife. He was already living there, kind of this playboy lifestyle of, I come from a rich family and I'm just going to go live on the islands and be this kind of Don. And then he met my mom, who was like young and beautiful, clearly, and who came from a very poor family.
And fucking ripped.
But, and
not yet, right?
So it's a little
you
bit
just saw her washing her clothes like in the street.
different.
I was like, I must have her.
But I think there is something, like, there's something mutually beneficial for both. I just don't like it when they're portrayed in like, oh, she's only with him for the money. I'm like, what the fuck do you think he's there for?
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
Like that's disproportionate.
Yeah, it's like bullshit. That show is like unfair to, especially like to the foreign people in the relationship. They make him look like so awful, and like it's like. Not
but
fair.
Rose fucking handled him.
I love Rose.
Such a bitch. She was so good. She was like, "Fuck you."
He's like FaceTiming her still. He has like I just watched the reunion, and she's like was on the reunion, and she goes, "Yeah, he FaceTimes me all the time." Like, so.
Oh
weird.
my God!
Yeah,
really?
And he's like engaged to someone else. It's like crazy.
Is this what show is it?
Big Ed. Big Ed. Big Ed, is that his name?
He's like your height.
Okay, I like him.
Oh, you
He's
don't know?
his head goes into his neck. He's a very interesting.
Yeah, and he's he's also just like a disgusting person. Like he's like nasty
really
to
shitty,
people. Yeah. He's not nice to
but
girls.
then he seemed like for a second like he was gonna be this like kind of like fringe guy, like helping people that are like different and stuff. And then but he was an asshole.
Yeah, he like
more than he was helpful to.
He's an asshole to literally everyone.
Wife on the with the
on the left is the fiance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at him.
They had like a spin-off show or something.
Silver Fox.
Yeah, I cannot watch.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiancé does like it triggers me. So does like Married at First Sight. Like some of them, like I go, like there's just something.
Oh, you don't like? I love Married at First Sight.
I watch them. No, I watch it all.
Yeah.
But Married at First Sight, I always say like Married at First Sight's one of the shows that like when I play it and fall asleep and I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Like I can't have it like infiltrating me, my subconscious.
Like I love it.
But it's a very interesting experiment. I do.
Yeah.
A lot.
I don't watch any reality TV, and I'm now wondering, like, is it because I did a reality pilot with Carlos actually like 12 years ago, and I just saw how everything was so overproduced that it literally like took all the love and joy out of it, and now I don't I don't see any of these. I'm like, maybe that's a good thing, but I feel like that could be why.
Some of them you get enough realness in the moments that
you do.
Yeah.
It will sustain you over the parts where you can tell that they're like,
I do agree,
taking a shot, or they're like, a lot of the testimonials, you're like, these people are not good actors. So you can tell that they're being so produced and told exactly what to say.
But I think I had this, because I grew up watching The Osbournes. That was like my favorite show of all time. And it had this like romanticized view of it. And then when we were doing it, Carlos, like I remember they'd be like, producers would come in, they'd be like, okay, now you guys are going to take tests for your cholesterol cholesterol. And I was just like, oh, like we could have just gotten to this organically.
I can't believe it.
Wait, but aren't you a Big Brother fan?
I watched Big Brother when I started dating Dave. Because he was into it, and I did like it, but that's not overproduced because
it's just 24
But the
hours.
testimonials are so fake.
Yeah, well, they're
testimonials are like wild, where you're like, they're like, and I'm like, Bob, you need to skedaddle.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Tell you like what to say.
Yeah.
What reality show was the context of yours? Was it like dating? Was it like
It was just about like being a young female comedian and like having like a bunch of guy friends and like what it was like to be like this was like in 2010 when it was like all comedy was still male dominated.
The people you would have highlighted in that show would have been so funny.
Carlos, Benji, Rick.
did it not air?
Sandy.
It didn't.
No, it didn't get picked up.
Do we have the
Rick
pilot part
Glassman.
that we could maybe?
I have it somewhere. Yeah, Glassman was in it.
We should show some little clippies of it.
Sure, I don't know. I hate to see what
No
it looked like.
way. You would
Oh
hate to
my
see
God.
it? No. You
Could be
wouldn't like
everything.
love like little Esther, little
I don't
Munchkin.
know.
Yeah, like
We
seeing
were-
yourself little.
Carlos, what are your thoughts on this?
I wouldn't want to see it either. It's
Yeah.
like seeing footage of you from 12 years ago.
Carlos with
Seems
less hair, weirdly enough.
weird. No, I had hair. I had a little bit on top.
It was not that.
Trisha, this is what I look like right now.
Oh, I live for it.
Oh,
You rock it though. It
Thank
looks
you.
cool.
He won't.
Thank
He
you.
won't take it. He won't.
I love it.
He won't quit.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think
thank
that's
you.
cool. I do.
You should dread it. You ever think about that?
I thought about getting like white guy braids to be funny.
Oh my
and then I was
God.
like, don't do that.
Yeah. Get
Thank you,
canceled.
Trisha.
Trust
Don't
me.
get canceled. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I kind of want the color hair you have,
You
Trisha,
should. Yeah. It's
Just-
very like Gerard way. Like it's very cool.
just to be wild.
Wait, Clayton is bleach blonde right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe you should connect with him.
Well, last time I reached out to Clayton, he said I didn't have enough hair for his services. I
Oh, or
my-
money, or talent, or not talent. Sorry,
Talent,
I didn't.
Jesus.
I took it back.
The hair shaming is real.
Following.
Annie, did you know you cannot? Well, according to Stanford, the word trigger warning is no longer allowed. So Stanford
Wow.
put up. I think it's Stanford put up.
It's Stanford.
Why?
Yeah,
I love that.
it's now called a memo. So like all of the
Like his trigger is triggering.
This is from the
Oh.
Stanford website.
Guys, I'm
That's
gonna
too much.
say this again. I've said this everywhere I can possibly say it. I say when I'm triggered, I say twigger because I'm being a baby. Remind yourself, say twigger. I'm twiggered, and then you go, oh, I'm being a child. I'm a grown up now.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm safe. I'm good.
what other words are canceled, Carlos?
Like you can't let the whole world.
A lot are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deal with the triggers. Like deal with what
Yeah.
makes. If you get triggered, deal with it in a good,
It's a
healthy
good
way.
thing. Being triggered is
Oh,
a wonderful tool.
you
It
can't-
shows you that you have something to work on.
Instead of addict, you now
I'm
have to
happy
say
to trigger
person
you
with a
guys.
substance use disorder.
What? Why?
Addicted, they'd rather they say hooked or devoted.
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 I'm triggered by this. I'm triggered by this.
Yeah, this is crazy. What?
Wheelchairs.
I was thinking about this too, like the triggering thing, like what you were talking about recently. Like there's no way I could ever, just me, I could never protect myself from all the things that like cause me stress and
Right.
chaos and harm. Like I would have to, like that to me, I would be building a lifestyle where I have to like hide and not
And
go out
then
in the
that would
world.
trigger you.
Yeah. So it's like, I think I'm in a place where I just have to learn how to move through the world and have things trigger
Right,
me and
yeah.
control my emotions around
But
it.
also, negative feelings are useful. There's
Yeah.
a reason why we feel
showing
them.
you things.
In the same way that when you touch a fire, pain is useful, so you don't touch that fire again. So it's like when I'm feeling super anxious, it's like it's just my body saying, "Hey, it's an alarm bell," and probably for a reason. Sometimes it's not good for good reason because I have like anxiety disorder and I get panic attacks. But other times I'm like, "Oh, like this warrants this feeling, and I should sit with it and get to know it and figure out a way out of it."
Yep.
You know what gives me that feeling that I didn't realize this until like last 5 years because when like all the young people were like things are triggering us and I was like, oh yeah, same. But like whenever I've been on like a comedy podcast with guys and they start talking about like, and then she was blowing me and like for some reason the way men talk about like getting blowjobs from women, it makes me so uncomfortable. And I think you maybe used to want to be like, please don't say that for me, but I need to just learn to be like, I don't know what the answer is, but that definitely does make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, guys with podcasts are cringy. Like, you see it on TikTok all the time. Like, there was that whole like trend, you know, like who was it? Aaron Tate? Andrew Tate?
Andrew
Oh,
Tate.
yeah.
I don't even know any of these people, but I see all
Sharon
these
Tate.
guys.
That is
Yeah.
fun. I love it.
I don't know. And then one of
great
those other
time
guys, like
stuff.
there's another
Fresh
one.
and fit.
Yes, those
Yeah.
guys too. Like I just see them on TikTok, so I see the thing. So it's like I feel like they have to just try and be cringy cringy maybe to get like views. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of why they talk like that. Because like nobody I know talks like that.
I think, okay, so back in the day, I used to do girl code, and I used to do girl code and guy code. There was like a girl code versus guy code thing. We just did like multiple seasons of it. And on the show, the way MTV would produce it, sorry MTV, I'm spilling your secrets. They would, you would shoot all of like 13, 18 episodes. I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of odd number, but it was like 13 or 18, 15 episodes or something. You would shoot all of them, but you would only get paid for the ones that you were edited into. So I noticed the guys, like Schultz, like was so Schultzy back then. You know, he would take like they'll take like the craziest take because it'll be the soundbite. You know, so it's like, I think it like encouraged that sort of behavior.
Right. I think that's why people do it. Like the FreshandFit people, like I would never know them, but they just say crazy things and everyone's reacting. And same thing with the Andrew Tate. Everyone was like reacting, and I was like, I don't know, maybe he's really like, I have no idea. But to me, I was like, oh, just giving like him attention is like what he like loves.
Yeah.
Like,
but he's also a legit like human trafficker.
He just got arrested.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll take that
I've been
back
like,
then.
I've been trying to find out more of the details. I haven't been able to find out too many details about it.
God.
He got arrested in Romania. Wait, also, Greta Thunberg, I'm saying her name right? Thunberg. Okay, Greta Thunberg. Thank you, Predator. You know who she is? She's the climate. Okay, so she like got in this fight exchange with him, and as I was looking at her, I realized she kind of looks like Todd. Todd, I've been putting my hair extensions on him and bringing him on stage, I go, can you see this a little bit? If Todd was shaved, like they have like kind of the same. Does she not look half Asian?
A little bit, she does.
She looks like fucking Todd. She's got like the round nose.
Oh my God.
Looks like my fucking boyfriend. Todd has like juicier lips and obviously a beard and is a man. But
oh my God. Okay, I have a similar thing. There's a female porn star that looks just like Dave. We look.
Oh my God.
Can you show Todd?
Arabella Danger.
I love her.
Arabella Danger.
No, it's Abella Danger. And I know why Dave knows her.
No, I know.
You know her.
Oh, is it because she's Jewish?
No, it's because I told...
Oh my God, that's different. We went from Greta to Weta.
Because I just introduced...
That does look like Dave.
Oh my God.
And I'm so wildly attracted to her.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Okay, so you introduced me to one of Dave's best friends.
Yes.
And I introduced Abella Danger to him.
Shut up.
What?
And he was like, she's phenomenal. But then now, do you think that he looks at Dave and sees a similarity?
Whoa, we have to call this
crushes
out.
on our same-sex friends a little bit.
We have to call this out.
That is so funny to
Take
me.
it out.
We have to call them out.
I love Abella Danger.
What the?
Oh my God.
She's always performer of the year too.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I love how she like
She has
she
the
rolls
best
her eyes
attitude.
back and she does the whole. I like when she rolls her eyes back.
I haven't watched
she does
porn
that.
in like since 1992.
Oh my God, you're
I've watched
missing
porn.
out.
Actually, no, I had like a couple weeks where I was porning back.
I had a moment of really big obnoxious confidence the other day.
He does look like
He
that.
looks
Oh my
like
God,
Greta.
he looks like Greta.
Guys, I've been putting by the way, that's the funniest picture Todd has
cute.
ever posted in the entire world. It's so hilarious. The different things you can do with your neck pillow.
You guys would have cute babies. You have embryos?
Yeah, we have 4 boy embryos.
I feel like people want babies just to see what they like look like together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of a cool thing to see. Anyways.
Well, I like, so he's half Asian, so that'll be quarter Asian. And all of his nieces are so beautiful.
That would be
Trisha.
really cute.
So in the last year, Esther and Annie have really been trying to like hype me up after the breakup, saying, you're beautiful, you're stunning, you can have anybody. So I had a moment of obnoxious confidence the other day, and I was talking to this guy that I'm kind of like seeing, and I was like,
Mad Schmidt.
and I don't know, like I had Annie and Esther's voice in my head, and then I was on Instagram and I was on the phone with him, and I scrolled through a picture of Sofia Vergara like taking a mirror selfie, and so like without even thinking I was like, oh my God, don't I look like Sofia Vergara? And I said that straight to him, and he was like, Khalyla. And he just like burst out laughing, and he was like, look, you're pretty, but like there was the one time where I needed someone to be like, fuck yeah, you know what, I see
You
it.
are as
Hype
pretty
you
as
up.
her.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah.
Oh.
I was like, if she was cross-eyed.
He's trying to nag you.
He wasn't, but he was just like, look, I think you're beautiful, but you ain't that.
Oh my God.
No, she's not hotter than you. You look different than her. She's not hotter than you.
I can see similarities though. I do
Thank
actually
you.
see
Yes.
similar. I do think you look have like the same quality.
Right.
Yeah.
When I back after
got
5
that
minutes
refugee.
later,
Yeah.
what is
You
that?
got that refugee.
Did you say refugee?
Refugee. I didn't invent it, but that's my heart meant to say that.
When I came back down to earth, I was like, okay, I don't look like her. And I don't know what came over me, but it was both of you guys' voice.
You could get
hyping me up.
You could get like slight plastic surgery and look like her immediately.
No, you're
like slight. Like you could like it would take like 1
I think my
hour.
doppelganger closest, because we have close eyes, is probably more Brittany Furlan. Because our eyes are like closer set.
I see Sofia Vergara more so.
Yeah.
I do. And they
both are beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. I can see it, I guess.
I love
see that.
Brittany. We need to have her on the show. I love her.
I like the TikToker who goes to people and asks them what number they think they are.
What does
He
that
goes
mean?
out of like 1 to 10. What do you think you are? And then he takes a picture of them after what they say, and he asks someone else, "What do you think they are?"
Oh, I hate
what do you
this.
think are? No, it's good. I like the bitches that are like, "I'm an 11." It's like we should all just do that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just better.
Yeah.
It's just better.
No, you need someone to hype you up. Like my husband, like he gives me like grand illusions all the time. Like we watch White Lotus, and I was like, I want to be on White Lotus season 3. He's like, I believe you can be. I can be that. I'm like manifesting it still.
I can see you on that.
Oh my God, I love you. I mean, like, there's no way. I don't act. I don't have any connections. There's just like, it's like the biggest show on HBO. But like in my heart, I was like, oh, I should be on the show. My husband will be like, I think you can do it. And I was like, okay, how do I get it? You know, he's very much that person. And he's like dead serious too. He's like, well, maybe
you have to manifest when you fuck, and you try to come at the same time and then manifest and think of the same thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's called come manifesting, but
I've never come manifested. I've actually never manifested during sex. I like don't think about it, but maybe I should.
that's a good time because you're like.
You're just like, you're like otherworldly at that point. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I feel like thinking during coming would interrupt my cum.
Yeah, I can't.
I think that manifesting, what I'm learning more, is a feeling. It's not a thinking. It's like you feel the feeling of like having the things that you want.
Right.
Like you can just think about White Lotus like earlier in the day. And then when you're coming, you're just like, you just have the feeling of like how you would feel once you got this thing you really wanted.
I feel like I would just manifest more coming. Which is all fine. Thank you.
More Whitney Cummings.
Thank you so much. Trisha, thank you for joining us today.
So fun.
You are our favorite guest ever.
Yeah, this was great.
You fit in so well.
Oh, thanks. I love you guys have guests now. They're so fun to watch. It's like I love all three of you guys too, but I love the guests too.
Thank you.
We got more guests.
And is there anything we should know about where to find you next or any of these future podcasts?
Shout out your holiday special too.
Oh, a holiday special, Christmas special on the Blonde Sundal Forum J channel, and I'll be coming up in season 3 of White Lotus on HBO Max.
Yes. I agree with Moses.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week for an all new episode. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think about us, especially if it's positive. Bye.